What's up guys, it is Alex here over at Milk to Pigeon. I'm doing my very first inaugural video post. The reason is I actually like video a lot more. I think I'm actually pretty good on video as well, and I want to do this as a test to see if you get more value out of it, and if so, I'll just do this more often. It's a lot easier for me, I can shoot them in bulk, and I think this will produce some really useful insights. But today, we're talking about how to figure out what in the hell to do with your life. And I want to give you 3 strategies that have helped me dramatically from 22 to where I am now at 29, and to where I built a successful business, to where I found my calling and my passion, all the stuff I want to do every damn day for the next 100 years. And there were 3 things that I think, trying to think back, that really made the biggest difference. The first one was this idea of throwing shit at the wall. Seriously, when I was trying to find all these jobs in my 20s, trying to figure out what I liked, the problem was that I didn't find, I was searching, reading all the books, doing all the exercises, I didn't find one thing that really called out to me. And you probably know the feeling where you're researching, you have all these ideas, all these paths you could potentially go down, but none of them really call out to you. None of them were like the slap in the face, like, dude, come on, that's what you gotta do. None of them were like that. And I found that when none of them were that slap in the face that I wanted, I found myself procrastinating because none of them were 100%, some maybe have been 20, 30%, like I like this part of that, and I like that part of that, but none of these are like that one thing I want to do forever. And I just found myself not taking action. I wasn't doing anything. Because again, if I wasn't 100% sure, what if I went down the wrong road, wasted my time, and I was better off not doing that, and I was more miserable. I ended up not doing anything for years, and I got severely depressed. And then I realized, well, all right, dude, then you need to make a promise to yourself that this obviously, what you're doing obviously is not working. You need to do something different. And so what I did was I said, all right, I'm gonna promise to myself for the next 5 years, I'm gonna force myself my ass out of bed every day just to do something. So what I did was I forced myself to take jobs that might have been along that path, even though they definitely were not the end goal I wanted. Maybe they were like 30% of what I wanted. So for example, I took this job as a personal trainer, I got this $700 certification, and after training 2 clients, I realized, hell no, there's no way in hell I wanted to do this. Did I screw myself over? No, because what ended up happening was that personal training job ended up introducing me to building an online health business. And that business was the 3rd business I tried, but it was the first business that succeeded. And that was the one that eventually earned me my freedom from my day job. And guess what? Eventually, later on, it gave me the skills I needed to be successful. That's where I went binging on success and business, sales, marketing books. And that one gave me the skills I need now, doing my passion and the thing I love more than anything else in the world, Chinese medicine. That business, even though it wasn't what I loved, gave me, first of all, freedom, which was huge, and the skills to become phenomenal at what I do love. So the first thing is throwing shit at the wall, meaning try out various things, even if you're not 100% sure, because you never know which path it's gonna bring you down, and maybe it's gonna lead you to the next one. Just make small bets. Don't bet the farm. Make small bets. The second one was this idea of the social self versus the essential self. If you've done a coaching call with me, you know I talk about this. It's from Martha Beck, Finding Your Own North Star, and it's so critical because every idea in our head usually comes down to 1 or 2 things. The first is there's the essential self. What do I truly believe and what do I truly want? And there's the social self. What does mommy and daddy want for me? What does society want? What do I think I should want? I think I should want the big house, the picket fence, the boring marketing job that makes 6 figures. Maybe you really do want that, but more often than not, we don't. And so every time I'm trying to kind of piece together all these pieces and see if a job's right for me or this path, do an exercise, divide a piece of paper, social self, essential self. Social self, okay, this marketing job, what is the social self saying? Well, it would make mom and dad happy because they're immigrants, they want me to have a safe, secure, successful career. Girlfriend or wife would be happy. It would impress my friends. Okay, that's your social self. Essential self, hell fucking no. Don't want to do this whatsoever. Pretty simple, right? Essential self saying, I don't want to do this. if I get this marketing job, there's not much to learn because I've been in marketing for 5 years already. There's actually this other job, which is only 35K or 40K, which would suck in the short run, but there's a lot of skills for me to learn. And maybe I could use, those video editing skills to build my own business after. So anything you're trying to vet, break it down to the essential self, what you truly want, or that's over here, and the social self. What does mommy and daddy want? What does society want? What do you think you should want? What do you really want? That's the essential self. That's exercise number 2. The third thing is listening to the whispers. There's this interview with Steven Spielberg that I've been passing around, and I think it's like a commencement address. And he says the advice he gives to his kids the most is to listen to the whispers. And listen to the whispers means when you kind of find that thing that you want to do for a long time, it's not often like the slap in the face that I talked about at the beginning. It doesn't often come like that. And instead, it's like that little nagging, niggling feeling. And you're kind of like, that still sounds so cool. I think I still want that. It comes as a little intuition. It's a little whisper. And it's very, very easy to ignore. And the thing is, you have to attune yourself to that kind of little whisper. You have to train yourself to always be listening, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a certain life path. And I write it down on paper. That's the way I maintain that listening ability. I write it on paper. What is that whisper saying? What does the logical mind say? What is that inner intuitive mind and body? What is it saying? There's so much there that you never know unless you go down that path. And once you go down that path, you become more and more successful, which then trains you, hey, crap, maybe I should be listening to that whisper more often. So that's the third thing. Listen to the whisper, because just like how I found my calling Chinese medicine, I was reading this book, Mastery by Robert Greene. And as I was reading it, I had this little intuition about, man, this would be so cool. And I was just revisiting like childhood memories, and because it talked about how the classical masters found their calling and then what they did to become great. And I had this video playing in my head, and I'm thinking, and that was a whisper. And I chose to pay attention to it. And I thought about Chinese medicine, learning medicinal herbs, learning medicine, but also all this these other aspects you never see at the doctor. And then the more I thought about it, the more I would get these chills, and they stayed for a year. Every damn day I thought about it. And they went on and on and on and on. And that little whisper became my calling. And then I ended up committing and going down that path. So these 3 things, like I said, I can't predict if that's how it's gonna work for you, but it worked for me, and it's worked for a lot of other people. So focus on these 3 strategies if you're caught trying to figure out what direction to go in life. Now, since this is my first video, comment below which one of these strategies you think you're gonna use, which do you think is gonna be most useful in your situation, and also, do you want me to do more videos like this? Comment below.